Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing this transition origami wipe thing that the subscriber suggested. It's a nice one. Let's get to it. So I have some footages here. If I could put the playhead on here and see what I've got here. I've created handles here for wipe. So I go here and scroll down to cross dissolve under fusion transitions, put it in the middle, click on it, go to inspector, then open it in fusion. We have this going to drag this to the end here to create space for what we want to create. Click on cross dissolve, delete it, disconnect this. We start with media in on. Let's drag media into down, drag media into down, drag media in one up. Let's drag that to the viewer. So single view for now. I'm going to drag a merge node here, drag another merge node, because we need to split this into two, right? Let's probably do the vertical one. So I get a rectangle mask, connect it to the mask input of merge one. Then I go and connect the media in one to the foreground of merge one, drag a background node into the node grid, drop the alpha to 0, and connect background 1 to the background input of merge 1. Drag this to the viewer. We have this going. We adjust the rectangle mask. We get the width to be the full width, and then we move it up to this point. So this should be 0.75. That's perfect. You copy this rectangle mask. And click here, we paste it. Let's try this here. Connect to the mask input of merge 2. Connect the same media in 1 to merge the foreground of merge 2. Then this background node, we can still connect that to merge 2. If we drag merge 2 to the viewer, it's the same mask, but we need to move that mask down. So we click on this mask, move it. We either move it from here using this arrow, or we go here and just drag it down. It should be 0.25. All things being equal. Perfect. Let's do a dual viewer so we get to see both of them. So we have the upper half and then lower half. And the way the transition goes, both halves swing in, this showing first and this showing next. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to connect this to an image plane. And I just saw an image plane, you see that. Then we're going to drag another image plane here, connect this to that image plane. There, the grain input of the image plane, we drag that to the viewer, we see the other half. If you drag a merge 3D node here and connect both of them to it, and drag this to the viewer, we see they are perfectly positioned on top of each other. Now what we want to do is, look at this now. This is the upper half, this is the lower half. We want this lower half to swing from, let me click on the image plane, go to transform, so you see what I'm trying to say. So we want it to go from minus 90, right? Swing from minus 90 down to 0. And that will start happening from the middle of the transition. Okay, so I go here, right click on the X, modify with Anim curves, go to modifier. So it's going to start from minus 90, which is the offset. Then we're going to add 90 to it so that by the time it finishes the transition, it will now be 0. 90 plus minus 90 is 0. Then we want this to happen twice as fast. Like it should start by half of the whole comp. So I type this 2, right? Then we want it to start from the middle of the transition. So the time offset should be 0.5. Hope you understand that. Twice, but it's going to start in the middle, so it's going to start from here. So if I go here and I play this, watching this video, see what happens. Yeah, so it starts playing from the middle of the transition. Good, moving on. But we want a situation where both of them swing in first. If I drag this into the viewer, you'll see that all we have here is that just folding down. Merge 3D. Drag the transform 3D control space and find a transform 3D. node, drag that in. Let's drag that in the viewer. So I want this to, the pivot point for this rotation is at the center here. I want the pivot point to be up top here. So I'm going to have to go to pivot and move the Y value up. It looks like it's perfect. Good. So that when we rotate this, everything rotates downwards. Good. Good. So I right click on this too. Modify with Anim curves. Go to modifiers. It should start from -90 and add 90 to it. So we'll see, and we make sure that it happens in twice the time scale. Let's go to the beginning and click. So we have the makings of the origami transition, right? Let's zoom in a little. Let's go to 200. So we see the middle. Let's go to the tail end. But we have an issue here. Let me go to this transform 3D, drag a render node, between drag a merge node, connect that here. You find the camera, connect that here, then click on an empty space, control space bar, bring in ambient light, just a simple light setup, and connect that to merge 3D. Let's just put the intensity at 1. It will make everything look like the way the footage was when we brought it through the 3D space. And then we connect this to the renderer 3D, drag this to the viewer. If you click on the camera, we need to set a few things, right? The angle of view, I double click on it and set it to 45. Transform, increase the value till I see the image. Let me get the image at the tail end, last part, last frame. Then you'll see that the image is now fully rotated, somehow bent. So what we do is we go to image plane 3, the second one, then we go here, we put 2.1. It's simple. It's a quirk in the Anim curve system. When you do animations like that, just put 0.1 at the end of it, then everything will be fine. Okay, we go back here, then go to the camera 3D, and we do minor adjustments to get it to line up just to the right. Okay, it's perfect now. I just do the adjustment. So for camera 3D, you can set it to 0.68 and make sure the angle of view is 45. Great. Let's leave them here also. Now we're not yet ready. So when we go here and play what we've got, we'll see that it comes here. So there's a problem. We don't want to see this, the back. You see this? You don't want to see the back of the lower halves of the image until it's about here. So what I'm going to do is go to this image plane, which is the image plane for the lower half. I'm going to go to controls, go to visibility. I am doing the media in wrong because this is media in 1. Media in 2 should be the image coming through. Sorry guys, but this media in 1 should be the image we are covering. So this media in 2 should be here. Got that mixed up. Now for the image below, you find out that in the transition I showed you, it was the top part was also bending. So we need to get that other half. So we drag 2 merge nodes here. Same thing we did there, we're going to do here. Bring in a background node. Drop the alpha to 0. Connect that to the background node of merge 3. Connect the background to the background node of merge 4. And connect media in 1 to the foreground of merge 3. Connect merge media in 1 to the foreground node of merge 4. Now we drag a mask. You can even reuse this rectangle masks. Let's copy this, paste, connect that here. Let's copy the second one, paste, connect that here. Drag this to this viewer, the lower half. Drag this to this viewer, we see the upper half. Great. Now we need to be able to bend this upper half. Here we go here, connect it to an image plane, and then we drag this to the viewer. We go to transform for the image plane, right click this X and this is where we need to bend it, right click on this, modify with Anim curves, modifiers. It's going to be at 0, but we want to bend it by 90 degrees. Enter. I want it to happen within the first half of the transition, so twice as fast. So we connect this to a merge node. I will drag a renderer node here to let's make them have the same position here, and drag this merge node here. Connect this image thing to the merge node, my 3D node, and connect this to renderer 3D. Now let's use the same camera we used here for here. Then ambient light. Let's copy this. So go there, right click and paste. Connect that here. And then now connect this to be on top of this. So this is connected to the foreground of this merge, and this renderer 3D is connected to the background. And we also put this on top of the output of this merge to create another merge here. If we drag this to the viewer, let's go to the beginning, single viewer, and play what we've done. See that you have the makings of the transition. We drag media out here, connect this to media out, and we're done. I go to this image plane, go to modifiers, go to X rotation. We can connect all the curves together, and let's say we even connect all the curves together. Go to ease in, pin this, because we want to connect all of the others to this. So I go to transform 3, go here and go to ease in, right click on this expression, right click on this expression, connect this to be ease in there, connect this to be ease in here. Then we go to this one too, go here, ease in, that's the image plane for the media in 1. Right click on ease in expression, right click on ease out expression, connect this to that and connect that to that. And we are practically through with all of this. The one other thing we just want to do is you notice that the image darkens as it rotates in. We're just going to do a little what can I say, cheats. Yeah, we're going to cheat a little, right? So this image here, this is the image plane 1. That's the image that you see first. Let me go to render 3D so it's obvious what we're doing here. If we go to the beginning, this image is like this. Let's even go to here. We see a full image. It's fine, right? And from go on, it bends. When it bends, you notice that in the original Anim wipe I showed you at the beginning of the tutorial, this kind of darkens to accentuate the bend to show it clearing, because right now when it bends, we're wondering what's going on, right? To make that happen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little trick. Right click on intensity, modify with Anim curves. It's a bit of a hack, right? That's what I'm laughing about it. So it starts from when intensity is 1 and it drops to, let's say, 0.4. So we make that because we want this to happen at the first half of the animation, right? So if we go share and play that now, before we're done, I need to go to render 3D and go to lighting and shadows. Say do the same thing for here. So let's go back to the beginning and play it again. So I made a mistake. It's getting brighter. So to go to ambient light, it should actually be minus, not 0.4 minus. So we should make it, to make it minus 0.8 minus. Okay, so we go to the beginning. We'll see it erupting like that. Good. So we do the same thing for that, for this upper part and for this lower part of this one. For this upper part, for this lower part here, and then for this lower part here. So we go to this. This should be the upper. This is the lower part. For the upper part, we do that by going here. Let's move this tree forward a bit. And I go here, I drag a background node, which is black. Connect that to this, makes it black, very easily. I make sure I connect this same rectangle mask to the rectangle mask here so it masks the right part. Then I go here. Either I do it on the merge node or I do it in the background node, whichever one. So I'm going to do this in the background node. I want a situation where when this top part is coming in, which is the first half of the transition, let's right click on alpha, modify with Anim curves. At the beginning, I want it to be really dark. So it should start maybe at 0.8. Then I want it to gradually increase. So it's dropping, the opacity will be dropping by minus 0.8. So if we move forward, you see get brighter. That's the idea. I will make sure that the time scale is 2. So it happens twice as fast across the animation. Let's go here, easing. I now need to connect this easing to this place. This is where all of them get the transition, the easing from. So I click on here, click on background, connect this to that. I connect this to that. Good. That's the first half. Then for the second half, which is this one, I'm going to use the ambient light here for that. Here, right click on intensity for ambience. Go to here, modify with Anim curves. Go to modifiers. This for ambient light. I left this pinned because we need to connect it. So let's go to linear easing. Right click on this expression. Right click on ease out expression. Connect it to easing. Image plane 2. Connect this to ease out. Image plane 2. Let's set the scaling to, I want a station where it comes from like 0.42 and you add 0.6 to it. Something like that. Hit this side. Then we make sure this is twice. Then we want it to happen at the middle of the transition. And this should be 2.1. Alright. Now that we've done this, if we play, you'll see something strange. It is affecting this upper part too. Right? So I don't want to take the upper part. So I'm going to go to this upper image plane. You see, that's the upper image plane. Click on it. Go to controls. Go to tools. Go to lighting. And go to affect, uncheck affected by lights. So if we now go back to this particular merge node, drag it to the viewer and play it. See that it's not affected by that, and then you're good to go. And that is the animation. We're done with the wipe. Let's make it into a wipe that we can reuse on the edit page. Shift this into a 3D. And now what's doing there? Now we have this merge too. There are actually two things just entering into here. This will not work for a transition. I need to make it from the central point. First things first, I need to just click on media in 1, journey back, add a merge node. On media in 2, add a merge node. I want to do that thing I do when I package transitions. Connect this to merge 9, connect foreground and merge 8. Different Control 8, Control T to swap, and Control T to swap, and merge 9 2. Click on background 4, drag the alpha to 0, and we're ready to package this into a wipe. So what I do, I select one, select it from media in 1 up to media in 2, right click on it, create a macro. Let's just save it, Geometry, save as group, go to Fusion, Templates, Edit, Transitions. How do I name this? Let's just say Regi, short for Origami. So save it and close. Let's go to the edit page. Let's sorry, let's go to that. Paste it out, test it before. Copy this. Click here, paste it. Delete this transition in the noodle. Let's look for Davinci. Drag that in between there. Expand it a little bit. Go here and display it. And bam, we're done. You press Ctrl F to make it full screen. Take back. And we're done. Guys, that's simple. That's straightforward. Hope you learned one or two things. And do like and subscribe. I appreciate that. And have a nice one. Cheers.